The sun hung low over the dusty outskirts of Willow Creek, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. But for 8-year-old Lila Harper, the world was all grease and steel. Her small hands, smudged with oil, gripped a wrench as she leaned over the hood of a beat-up pickup truck. Her brows furrowed in concentration. The garage smelled of motor oil and hope, a place where broken things found new life. Lila's father, Tom, a mechanic with hands as rough as the Wyoming plains, had taught her everything he knew. But today, the shop was quiet too quiet. Tom was in the back wrestling with bills that piled higher than the scrap metal out back. The recession had hit hard, and the Harpers were one late payment away from losing the shop. Their home, their everything. Lila didn't know the full weight of her father's worries, but she felt them in the way his laughter had faded, replaced by long silences. She tightened a bolt, muttering to herself about carburetors, determined to fix anything to make him smile again. The bell above the shop door jingled and Lila's head popped up. A man stepped in, his presence filling the room like a storm cloud. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with a jaw carved from granite and eyes that seemed to carry the weight of 100 battles. His Navy SEAL tattoo peeked out from under a rolled-up sleeve, faded but proud. His truck, towed in behind him, coughed, like it was on its last breath. "Anyone here?" His voice was low, commanding but not unkind. Lila wiped her hands on her overalls and stepped forward, her pigtails bouncing. "I'm Lila. I can help." The man, John Callahan, though she didn't know his name, yet raised an eyebrow, clearly expecting someone older. "Kid, I need a mechanic, not a mascot." Lila didn't flinch. "I am the mechanic." "Well, kinda. My dad's busy, but I to fix stuff all the time." "What's wrong with your truck?" John hesitated, glancing at the rusted beast outside. "Engine's shot. Won't turn over. I need it running by tomorrow. Got a job to get to." Lila nodded, already halfway to the truck, her small frame dwarfed by its hulking mass. "I'll take a look." John followed, half amused, half skeptical. He'd seen a lot in his years as a SEAL: war zones, covert ops, moments where life hung by a thread, but an 8-year-old mechanic was a first. Lila climbed onto a stool to peer into the engine bay, her tiny hands moving with surprising confidence. "Fuel pump's clogged, and your spark plugs are toast," she said after a few minutes, her voice matter-of-fact. "I can clean the pump and replace the plugs. Got parts in the shop." John crossed his arms, leaning against the wall. "You sure you know what you're doing, kid?" Lila shot him a look, her green eyes fierce. "I've been fixing engines since I was 6. You want it done? I'll do it." Tom emerged from the back, wiping his hands on a rag, his face etched with exhaustion. "Lila, what's going on?" he asked, then noticed John. "Sir, I'm sorry. She's diagnosing my truck," John interrupted, a hint of a smile tugging at his lips. "Says she can fix it." Tom's eyes widened, but before he could protest, Lila piped up, "Dad, I got this. You taught me, remember?" Tom sighed, torn between pride and worry. The shop was on its last legs, and every job mattered. He nodded, reluctantly. "All right, Lila, but I'm checking your work." For the next 2 hours, Lila worked like a force of nature. She darted between the truck and the shop, fetching tools, cleaning parts, and swapping out spark plugs with a precision that belied her age. John watched, his skepticism melting into something else, admiration maybe, or something deeper he couldn't name. He'd spent years in high-stakes missions, surrounded by the best of the best, but this kid, with her greasy pigtails and unwavering focus, was something else entirely. When she finally slammed the hood shut and wiped her hands, she grinned. "Try it now." John slid into the driver's seat, turned the key, and the engine roared to life, smoother than it had in years. He stepped out, stunned. "Well, I'll be damned. You did it." Lila beamed, but Tom's face was a mix of pride and strain. "That'll be $150, he said, his voice quiet. John reached for his wallet, then paused. "Look, I don't have that on me right now. I'm good for it, though. I'll swing by tomorrow after my job." Tom's jaw tightened. He'd heard promises like that before, and they usually ended with an empty register. But Lila, oblivious to the tension, just nodded. "Okay, mister, just don't forget." John met her gaze, those clear green eyes holding him accountable in a way no commanding officer ever had. "I won't, kid. Promise." The next morning, John didn't show. Tom paced the shop, muttering about trusting strangers, while Lila sat on a stool, swinging her legs, unfazed. "He'll come, Dad. He's got honest eyes." Tom didn't have the heart to argue. By noon, the bell jingled again, and John walked in, his face unreadable. He carried a duffel bag slung over his shoulder, and behind him a tow truck pulled up with another vehicle, a sleek, black SUV that looked like it belonged in a showroom, not their rundown shop. Lila hopped off her stool, curious. "You got another car to fix?" John shook his head, setting the duffel on the counter. "Not exactly." He unzipped the bag, revealing stacks of cash, far more than $150. Tom's eyes widened, but before he could speak, John held up a hand. "This is for you, all of it, and the SUV outside. It's yours too." Lila's mouth dropped open. Tom stammered, "Sir, I don't understand. This is too much." John's gaze softened, and for the first time Lila noticed the lines around his eyes, the weight he carried. Your daughter fixed my truck, but she did more than that. She reminded me of something I'd forgotten: kindness, trust, the way people can still surprise you. I've got money from my last deployment, more than I need. You folks look like you could use a break. Tom's voice cracked. We can't accept this. It's too much. But Lila, eyes shining, tugged at her father's sleeve. Dad, he's trying to help, like you help people. John crouched to Lila's level. You're one hell of a mechanic, kid, and you've got a good heart. Don't ever lose that. Then he pulled something from his pocket, a small, worn Navy SEAL patch, the kind given to team members after a mission. This is for you, for fixing more than just my truck. Lila took it, her fingers tracing the embroidered trident, her face glowing with pride. Word spread fast in Willow Creek. By evening, shop was buzzing with neighbors, customers, and even a local reporter who'd caught wind of the story. The SUV gleamed outside, a symbol of something bigger: strangers' gratitude, a child's courage, a community reminded of what it meant to lift each other up. Tom used the money to pay off the shop's debts, keeping it open for another season. Lila, clutching her SEAL patch, became a local legend, the girl who fixed a hero's engine and got a miracle in return. But the real change wasn't the money or the car. It was in Tom's laughter, back after too long, and in Lila's quiet vow to keep fixing things, hearts, whatever needed it. And for John, driving off into the sunset, it was the lightness in his chest, the knowledge that a little girl's trust had patched up something broken in him,